What if everything you know about human history is only a tiny chapter in a much larger story? Right now, there are more than 8 billion humans on Earth. We build cities, explore space, and carry the entire world's knowledge in our pockets. But for nearly all of our existence, humanity looked nothing like it does today. To understand who we are, we need to travel back, not hundreds, not thousands, but millions of years into the past. Back to a time when our ancestors shared the planet with giant predators, survived brutal ice ages, and competed with other human species that no longer exist. This is the story of ancient humans. Around 7 million years ago, in the forests of Africa, our evolutionary journey began. The first ancestors of humans were not fully human at all. They were small, ape-like creatures that slowly adapted to life on the ground. One of the most important changes in our history was learning to walk upright. At first glance, standing on two legs might not seem revolutionary, but it changed everything. Walking upright freed our hands, allowing us to carry food, use tools, and eventually shape the world around us. Over millions of years, species like Australopithecus emerged. One famous discovery, nicknamed Lucy, revealed a creature that walked upright but still climbed trees. Lucy lived around 3.2 million years ago. Her world was dangerous. Massive crocodiles lurked in rivers. Saber-toothed cats stalked the grasslands. Survival depended on awareness, cooperation, and adaptability. Then, around 2.5 million years ago, a new group appeared, the genus Homo. These early humans began creating simple stone tools. Sharp rocks became knives. Heavy stones became hammers. For the first time, humans weren't just adapting to nature, they were changing it. One species, Homo erectus, would become one of humanity's greatest pioneers. They mastered fire. Imagine seeing fire for the first time, not as a destructive force but as a tool. Fire provided warmth during cold nights, protection from predators, and a way to cook food. Cooking unlocked more energy from meals, helping fuel the growth of larger brains. Fire also changed something less obvious. It brought people together. As darkness fell, ancient humans gathered around the flames. They shared food, communicated, and perhaps told the first stories ever spoken. Some scientists believe these moments around campfires helped shape language itself. But Homo erectus achieved another incredible milestone. They left Africa. For the first time in history, human ancestors spread across Europe and Asia, adapting to entirely new environments. And they weren't alone. Contrary to popular belief, modern humans were not the only human species to exist. Over hundreds of thousands of years, multiple human species shared the planet. There were the powerful Neanderthals, perfectly adapted to the cold climates of Ice Age Europe. There were the mysterious Denisovans, known mainly through fragments of bone and traces in our DNA. There was Homo floresiensis, nicknamed the Hobbit, a small human species that lived on an isolated island in Indonesia. At one point, Earth was home to several kinds of humans, each with unique skills, cultures, and ways of life. Imagine meeting another human species today. How would we communicate? Would they seem familiar or completely alien? Neanderthals, once thought to be primitive, were surprisingly sophisticated. They created tools, hunted large animals, cared for injured members of their communities, and may have even buried their dead. Evidence suggests they used pigments, wore ornaments, and possibly created art. Even more astonishing, many people alive today still carry Neanderthal DNA. Their story isn't entirely over. It's written inside us. Then, around 300,000 years ago, our species appeared. Homo sapiens. At first, we were just another human species among many. There was nothing inevitable about our success. We faced harsh climates, powerful predators, disease, and competition from other humans. Yet somehow we survived. Why? Scientists believe our greatest advantage wasn't strength or speed. It was cooperation. Humans developed complex language, allowing us to share knowledge across generations. One person could discover a better hunting technique, and an entire community could benefit. We created myths, traditions, and shared beliefs that united large groups of strangers. This ability to work together on an unprecedented scale changed everything. Around 70,000 years ago, humans began spreading rapidly across the globe. They crossed deserts, navigated coastlines, and eventually reached Australia, Europe, Asia, and the Americas. They survived ice ages and adapted to environments ranging from frozen tundras to dense rainforests. Every place humans went, they transformed the world around them. Then, around 12,000 years ago, another revolution began. Agriculture. Instead of following migrating animals and seasonal plants, humans started growing crops and raising livestock. For the first time, people settled in permanent communities. Villages became towns. Towns became cities. Civilization was born. But this new way of life came with challenges. Disease spread more easily. Social inequality emerged. Conflicts over land and resources intensified. The foundations of the modern world were being built. Yet despite our technology and achievements, we remain deeply connected to our ancient past. Our fear of the dark, our desire for community, our instinct to tell stories, these traits were shaped over hundreds of thousands of years. The world of ancient humans still lives within us. Every heartbeat, every emotion, every instinct carries echoes of our ancestors. The next time you sit around a campfire, look up at the night sky, or share a story with friends, remember this. You're participating in traditions older than history itself. Because the story of ancient humans isn't just about where we came from. It's about understanding who we are. And perhaps where we're going next.